We are on the showroom floor at RSA Conference 2012 in San Francisco. I am here with Cameron Camp, a security researcher at ESET. Cameron, thanks for being with us.
It's great to be here.
The show, a lot of the topics have hovered around mobile device security, mobile device management. Everyone is grappling with the BYOD phenomenon, bring your own device. People want to bring their devices, their tablets to work. Seeing a lot of sessions about that. You guys just conducted some research into this problem and found that corporations are still having a tough time wrapping their heads around this challenge and getting in policies and that sort of thing.
Indeed. In fact, I think we were shocked as anybody by the results of the survey that 81% of users use BYOD in the corporate setting, and I think that 64% of them don't have the basic security in place on the BYOD, so that represents a potential attachment or connection to corporate networks, and so we're very concerned about it.
What is the mindset? I mean, a couple of years ago, I would imagine security professionals were resistant to allowing employees to bring these devices in. Since have they loosened up those restrictions and accepted, yes, this stuff is going to come into our organization, and now we need to deal with it?
You know, absolutely. And the organizations are trying to grapple with how to, from a combination of user education and policy as well, but the devices are here to stay. We're out on the floor, we're walking around, and people are using their iPads, they're using the mobile devices for lead capture, for critical business planning, and especially the driving factor is that people need access to up to the cutting edge, up to the minute data on their brand of their organization, so they can manage that in real time. You can't wait for tomorrow if Twitter breaks out. You need to get a hold of it.
Yeah. So certainly these devices are integral. They're becoming integral to daily business functions. What do you need to do to secure this stuff? And also, if you can talk about the malware issue on these devices, is that something that to worry about right now, or is it more managing this stuff and controlling the data in case it gets lost, being able to wipe it?
Well, I think first thing is one of the things we saw is only 25% of the people have any kind of auto locking feature, and it's less than that on an iPad. Because they don't have really a security context. And so if we can just get people to realize that if I can pick up your mobile device and make a call without any prompting, any password, anything like that, what level of exposure does this corporation have? So that's easy to do. I can download that. There's multiple security things I can do for that. But just auto-locking the device, and then also keeping the device in sight all the time. We were talking earlier, the person grabs your device, runs back to wherever the mothership is. They got plenty of time to deconstruct your data, and that makes corporations nervous.
Yeah. Let's switch over to the social networking side of things. You've done some look into this new social networking craze, Pinterest, which is a bulletin board. So maybe you can explain it a bit, and maybe that the fact that it's so popular, and we might start seeing some of the cyber criminals migrating toward it.
Well, and they are. And so Pinterest is a big bulletin board where you can hit. It's a visual bulletin board. So rather, if I find a recipe I like, I put it up there. If I'm sort of a foodie, if I find a new car I'm interested, I put it up there. And people sort of aggregate, ranks up to the top. Things that people are more interested in. And so from a social media standpoint, the interesting thing is this intersects and what's called a term called frictionless sharing between your Facebook account, your Twitter account, and it starts to pull and push information. It moves back and forth, and then starts to affect the aggregate of Pinterest. But Pinterest hasn't been in the marketplace long, and they're hot, they're coming, they're growing leaps and bounds. But what are they dealing with just on the security front? And so we see scams like gift cards that don't exist. Click here to win an iPad, $1,000 iPad. Of course, that doesn't exist, and the scammers will get together and like that Pinterest pin, and so it rises up in the rankings, and users get fooled on it. And so Pinterest is new, it's hot, absolutely. We're watching it quite closely, and users should as well.
Yeah, and I read something, I believe, yesterday regarding some vulnerabilities in the site. So, I mean, things that might have the ability to allow worms to perpetrate and that sort of thing that we have seen in some of the other major platforms like Twitter and Facebook.
In some ways it's analogous to where the Android platform first came out. They wanted market adoption. Clearly they were behind the iPhone game. iPhone had beat them to the marketplace. Pinterest needs to get traction. They need to go fast. They're getting it fast. They're sort of focused, and their top tier focus is getting and keeping the traffic. And then sort of they're going to be locking down the platform later. And so, yes, they're not familiar with the types of scams. We've seen them issue opt-out codes to, for example, Flickr. And so there's some management in terms of what the content can and can't interface with the platform. Sure.
Yeah, and I would imagine companies want to learn about this too, in the same way that they've learned about it with Facebook and Twitter and the like. When you're talking about developing social media policies, I mean, they need to know that their employees are going to be going to this sort of site, and it can be just as big of a risk.
Oh, absolutely. And I think the next 90 days is going to tell us a lot of it. 90 days ago, very few people on the street heard of Pinterest, and now it's all the rage.
Yeah.
So,
count my girlfriend as one of them. So, anything else from the show that you're taking away? I mean, I've heard that from a lot of people that the last 12 months has been the most exciting 12 months within this industry has ever seen, and obviously it's led up to this show. So
I think it is an exciting time to be in the space. I think we're going to see sort of a maturing of the ecosystem surrounding mobile in the next 6 months to a year. Vendors are going to find out what works and what doesn't, or what works with the users, what new exploits will be on the mobile platforms that we didn't necessarily see on PCs, and there will be different exploits, and we'll have a chance to deal with them, to become familiar with them. Users might go, oh wait, that doesn't look right. Don't just click on it. When I install an app, don't just hit OK until it gets back to where I want to do and I can get on the bus and go about my business. And so it's a combination, but we think the industry needs to step up. And the users need to get a little more familiarity with it, and it's an exciting time to be in the security space.
okay, and we'll review this video and then film one again in 2013 and see how close we got.
See what we did right.
Yeah, exactly. Cameron Kemp, security researcher at ESET at the RSA Conference 2012 in San Francisco. Thank you for joining us.
Great to be here.